All right, we're live. Say hello.
Hey, this is Jordan Zimmerman here from Zimmerman Advertising with Alex, ready to go. Let's go, Alex.
Let's do it. Jordan, thank you so much,
Great
man.
to see you, man.
And I on camera, I have to thank Jonathan, who's sitting behind the camera, who had to deal with me. So I was so persistent in pestering him to get you on the show. But with Motivation Monday, Fitness Friday, Fearless Friday, Wednesday winners, or Winter
Wednesday.
And we're going to talk about that. I had to get you on, so I appreciate it.
Good to be here.
Now, Jordan, what I want people to know is you are the architect behind a $4 billion advertising empire, Zimmerman Advertising, huge philanthropist, TED Talk speaker. I love most is you started Zimmerman because you went to New York to get a job, didn't get the job, so you opened up your own company.
Nobody would hire me.
That's crazy. Tell us a little bit about your path to where you are today.
You know, it's interesting. So it's been a long path. Grew up in New Jersey, middle class to lower middle class neighborhood. Really saw a lot of shit as a kid that you probably shouldn't see, but a lot that you should see. You see a lot of people that don't like what they do for a living, in your friends' parents, and the same thing in your parents' friends. So you look at that and say to yourself, how do I not be like them? And you realize the only way not to be like them is to really focus on education. If you're not the smartest, work the hardest than you can be. Find your passion in life. If you look at your watch and it's 11 o'clock and it feels like it's 5 o'clock, you're in the wrong job. But if you look at your watch, it's 5, and it happened to me last week, and I thought it was 11, you realize you're in the right place. And do something you love to do, and don't chase the money. Chase the dream. And that way, if the money doesn't come, you're doing at least what you love to do. And if it does come, you got a double whammy.
There you go. And what I love most about you, what you said, was you were looking at the environment, your parents, their friends, all that, what they did, and what you can learn from that, and what they weren't doing, what you can learn from that, and how you didn't want to be. And that really shows you that everybody could be a mentor in your life as to what to do and what not to do.
Right.
Now, building a $4 billion company doesn't happen overnight, and it doesn't happen without its bumps and bruises.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit, if you were to say the top 3 business lessons. You have kids, sitting down with your kid. I know your son's launching a huge business, as we talked about on the phone.
Yep.
He says, Dad, give me some business lessons. What would you share with him?
Well, first thing is, you got to sit down and really have to construct a business plan. I know how hard it is to do. I did it. And half the time you write the business plan, mine called to be profitable in 2.5 years. 6.5 years later, still wasn't profitable. But don't quit. As my friend Jake Steinfeld says, Body by Jake, he has a motto, don't quit. And I truly live by that. I don't quit at anything that I do. So lesson 1, don't quit on the dream that you have.
All right. How about, what's the next lesson?
Lesson number 2 is surround yourself with really great people. What I learned early on was I thought I had to see and do everything. So everything's coming across my desk. I get to work at 5:36 in the morning. I'd leave at 9:30, 10 o'clock at night. And what I realized was I better hire some really good people, empower those people, trust those people, coach them, mentor them, let them learn how to do their job, and let them make the mistakes, and then coach them through the mistake. Don't belittle them in the mistake.
Now, what I love about that is knowing that you don't have to do it all. We actually, we just brought in transaction coordinators for our agents. And as realtors, we think we have to control the entire transaction, meaning we have to write the contract, do the paperwork, get the escrow letters, and do all that. And there's a lot of behind-the-scenes stuff that people can handle for you so that you can focus on what you do best, which is go out and sell real estate. And you do that by empowering others and getting help. So let's talk about Motivation Monday, Winter Wednesday, Fearless Friday, Fitness Friday. Motivation. For someone like you who seems to have it all, what's keeping you going, number 1? And the second part of that is, I'm huge on purpose. So how do you find your purpose?
What's interesting, so what keeps me going is the game itself. I love to win, and we're in the retail sector, and our clients either win or lose every day. We have the ability to win big for our clients. Doesn't matter if we're selling pizza, okay? It doesn't matter if we're selling retail at Five Below, or if we are in the real estate sector. Whatever sector we're in, we can win by having a proposition and a differentiated proposition that connect to the consumer's heart and soul. Let me give you a quick example. City Furniture, local brand in South Florida.
That's right.
Great company. So the vision was, how are we going to find for them the takeaway So in the research, we found that people are envious of other people's home furnishings. So you walk in there with your husband, your wife, your girlfriend, your significant other, and your wife says, how come our home doesn't look like this?
Got it.
Or your husband says to the wife, why doesn't our home look like this? And so the big takeaway there, the insight was envy. People are envious of other people's homes. How do you bring envy to light? We test all these great lines, and the line that came to fruition was so everyone could live like this, City Furniture. And then we brought it to life with really great creative that connects all the way through the heart and soul of the people, and then watch the business grow. So that's really how you build whatever sector you're in, how you build your takeaway, but most importantly, how you bring that takeaway to life with outstanding creative.
But let's go back. So, you're in great shape, right? I have to ask, how old are you?
64.
64.
Yeah.
You look 44. You're jacked. Okay, and we're going to talk about fitness in a minute. But so you're 64, man. What time did you get here this morning?
6:30.
6:30 a.m.
Yeah.
Why? What's that driving force that's telling you I got to be here at 6:30? That's crazy, man.
Listen, if you're not smarter than everyone else, outwork them. I get in early. I get my beginning emails out. I look at numbers from the weekend of my clients or numbers from the night before the client. And what I do is then I'm sending out texts and emails to everybody that works within the organization. Look at this, 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 look at this. Give them some insights to start their day of what we could be doing to foster greater growth within our clients' businesses.
Got it. Let's talk about, I was trying to see what popped up behind. That's a beautiful, it looks like Rome. Let's talk about Winner Wednesday.
Yes.
What makes a winner?
A winner is somebody that has a clear vision of where they want to go and works that vision every single day. A winner is somebody that understands they don't know everything and that they learn every single day. And a winner is somebody who understands we learn more from our failures than we do from our successors. A winner is somebody who walks out of a meeting and doesn't say, hey, how was I? They say, how could I have been better? A winner is somebody that doesn't take negative criticism and let them get them down, but looks at it in a way to make them better.
Got it.
That's what winners do.
All right. Let's talk about the real F word. And it's not the one everybody thinks about, fear.
Yes.
How do you, and I love Fearless Friday. How do you overcome fear? I think so. Fear is by far the number one thing that holds people back. So
if you look at my first office, it was pretty fearful. It was 400 square feet of nothing. Nothing. I used that fear of having to go there every day, the big dumpster in front. Okay, the failure I was feeling by not having cash flow and having the mail bins delivered to my office so I could rifle through there looking for the checks. I used it as fuel. Turn fear into fuel. You will do remarkable things. Never let fear take away the gusto of who you are and the drive of who you can be.
Ooh, I love that.
Thank
Now I got to talk about fitness, right?
Yes.
I told you, you're jacked, you're in great shape. I actually put an entire CrossFit gym in my garage. My wife kicks my ass every single morning. 41 six-pack abs, mother of three with twins, right?
Awesome.
She's a badass. So how has fitness played a role in your life? Why is it so important to you?
A couple of reasons. Fitness gives you clarity of mind. Fitness keeps you young. Fitness gives you energy. Energy, energy, energy. How many times you get home or in the morning don't feel like going to the gym?
That's right, a lot.
Okay. But when you go and you finish, you're like, whoo, I'm so glad I did that.
That's right.
I feel great. It re-energizes you. And I started working, I was 11 years old, 12 years old for sports. Then I realized that it gave me this insatiable energy. And as I started to train, I started to become more and more and more fit. But a lot of people get foghead. And I realized the lower my body fat was, the less I ever got foghead, and the more clarity I had in life, and the more my brain worked and quicker and more efficiently.
Got it. Now, let's talk about your zone of, and by the way, I totally agree with you. I actually noticed that with, I do intermittent fasting. Mm-hmm. And so I stopped eating around 8 p.m. I started eating again the next day at 12, 16 hours every day, even though most of the time, except for Sundays. And every time I have breakfast, it messes me up. Where if I'm clear-headed, if I don't wait till 12, I'm clear-headed, and I'm sharp, and I'm not fog-headed like you said.
Well, listen, Alex, that's a very good point, because people always say, you hardly eat. I eat very little meals, always. Because if I eat too much, I get tired.
Yeah.
Like, I don't eat lunch anymore. Why? Because I realize when I eat lunch, I get tired. You get that midday blues.
Yeah.
I didn't want the midday blues. I wanted the midday energy. Yeah. So I have a light breakfast in the morning, and then throughout the day, I drink a lot of water and things like that. Sometimes I'll take a vegan protein shake, but that's it.
All right, I have to ask you, what's your favorite lift?
I used to love the bench because it's like an ego thing.
Yeah,
you know,
that's a male thing, 100%.
Okay, but today it's more about cardio and it's more about reps. My whole workout has changed dramatically. It's I do between 1,200 and 1,700 reps a workout, and I do it within 45 minutes. Yeah, so it's a lot of reps, a lot of weight.
I think people were shocked by doing there. That's insane. Yeah. That's awesome.
Yeah, so it's reps.
You know, and I say insane as a compliment, by the way.
No.
I don't want you to think that I'm thinking you're crazy. I think that to get to the levels of success that you've reached and where I want to reach, and our mutual, your friend and somebody who's been on the show, Grant Cardone, talks about it. You have to be obsessed, because otherwise you're not gonna get there. Now let's talk about. I had that guy Bedros Keuilian on last week, and he was talking about his zone of genius, and where if there's 100% of the things that have to be done in this building, only 5% could be done by him. That's what he focuses on, and he sends the other 95% out, okay, to be done by his staff. But you're in that zone of genius also is what his passion is, which is fitness, and yours is advertising. What's the if you were a realtor today, advertising wise, where would you go? What's the sandbox you're playing in? What would you do?
If I was a real estate agent, I would use immersive commerce. I would be everywhere and anywhere that a consumer wants to shop, buy, or make an appointment. Everywhere. Okay, on your app, on a Instagram page, on a Facebook page, on a Twitter page. Okay, even on any of the pages the kids use today because of parent supervision, but also to keep your brand relevant and in front of all markets at all times. TikTok is an up and coming, up and coming.
All my kids are on it.
Right. Digital media tool that is out there today. Social media is the way that it should be. So I would be using a lot of that. I'd also do a lot of algorithm work using social media by building algorithms that listen to people that are out there saying, I'm looking for a new home. I'm looking for a waterfront home. I'm looking for a condo in Miami. You can listen around the country, around the world, of people's conversations on Twitter, which is an open forum, and they're searching. Nobody's responding to these people that are searching, that are out there looking, that are just having conversations with people. Your responsibility, your opportunity is to listen to those people and respond to them. Build your relationship. This is what I say all the time. People do business with people they like, they trust, and are inspired by. So Alex is very likable. He is very trustable. Look how hard he works. And most importantly, he has a great attitude. So when he interviews people like myself, or he's out there talking to a potential client, he inspires them. Do you inspire people?
And I want to thank you. Well, thank you for that, by the way, for the couple. I appreciate that. But the likability and trust. There are 64,000 realtors in Dade and Broward County. So customers definitely have a choice with whom they want to work, and they're going to choose to work with somebody they like and they trust. How do they like you? How do they trust you? They like you because you're in front of them all the time, whether it's in social media or you're having coffee or having a drink or having dinner or lunch or breakfast with them. And they trust you because when you do have that opportunity to be in front of them, you're able to speak about whatever's happening in the real estate market in a very educated way. They trust you because they know that they can put their home with you or buy their home through you because you know what you're talking about. I love that. Thank you for that.
Well, think about this. If you're an agent and you're walking through a home with somebody, if the person asks you a question, how many tons of air conditioning, you better know.
That's right.
How many thermostats? You better know. Is it a tankless water heater house or is it a traditional water heater house? You better know. If they don't use tankless water heaters, why don't they use them? Okay. Everything about that house, the real estate agent needs to know his or her business. If they don't, you create doubt. And they just think you're there to make the sale, not to inform them on the questions that they have.
So and you're 100% right on that. Let's stay along the real estate line. One of the things I learned about you when we had our pre-conference phone call with Jonathan was you're a huge real estate player. So what if your kid now, let's go back. I love because kids is easy, right? It's natural when we talk about our kids, and I'm a father of 4. I have a 22-year-old, a soon-to-be 13-year-old, and 10-year-old twins. So what advice are you giving your family about investing in real estate?
It's interesting. I love the real estate market. We just had a big apartment complex that we built in Raleigh that we just sold. What I like about real estate is you've got to get into the right market at the right time to make the right investment, and then you have to surround yourself with the right people if you're in the apartment business or the leasing business to lease it out, at the highest possible rate you can lease it out at a fair market value so you don't become a gouger in that marketplace, and most importantly, bring in the right people in. But what I also like is that when you do build something, you have to have the right assets within there, the right kind of a gym within there, the right pool that's in there, the right meeting rooms that are in there. Because today they want more. Even dorms in colleges, the kids want more there. They want more in their dining halls. So it's interesting to me how the real estate market has evolved, and that you have to understand the needs and wants of the consumer to make sure you could exceed their expectations. That wow factor is really important.
That's all. Do you know, are you familiar with Bobby Castro?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Do you connect with him? If not, I'll connect you guys.
No, I never connect with him, just familiar with them.
All right, so I'm going to connect you with Bobby. He's Bankers Healthcare Group, sold it off, and now he's only doing real estate, so I'll make sure and huge multifamily.
Right.
So I'll connect you. All right, last question. I end every interview with a book, podcast, or TED Talk, or all 3 recommendation. What do you got?
Somebody just gave me a book. I don't remember the name, but it's
we can plug your book. It's right here. Let me go grab it so we can go ahead. It's right here. So you have Leading Fearlessly, Jordan Zimmerman, right here. Where can they buy the book?
Amazon. You can go on Amazon and buy the book, or you can walk any Barnes & Noble, buy the book. Most importantly, I didn't write the book. I wrote the book because clients had told me, you got to share your story. So I wrote the book to share my story. What happened was I get letters, hundreds of letters from people saying, you changed my life. Now, I guess the book is an inspiration. It wasn't written to be a motivational book. It was really written to really tell my story. And I didn't realize the story of me creating Zimmerman was so inspiring to others. But I'm glad it is, because it gave a lot of people the confidence to go out and do something themselves that they never would have done before. And I want to say this. One of the responsibilities we all have is to give back. That's a way of giving back to inspire others. The other thing I did was I built an ad school at University of South Florida called the Zimmerman School of Advertising and Mass Communication. My advertising school is phenomenal. Not good, phenomenal. When I got there, 12% of my graduates were getting jobs in advertising. Last year, 87% got jobs in advertising.
Holy crap.
This university is an amazing university. It's in Tampa, Florida. It is a preeminent Florida university. It has incredible students. 40% are Pell Grant students. It is amazing. So if you ever want to tour a great university, go tour this university. Business school, the business dean Moez, incredible guy. Just a great way to further the betterment of yourself, your education. If you want to send your children to a great school, it's the first school in the state of Florida that is an urban-based metropolitan university, as opposed to University of Florida that was a land grant university or an agricultural university, and the same thing for Florida State. So those 3 schools are the preeminent schools within the state of Florida and the 12 great university system that we have.
There you go. Jordan, I know you got to run. Thank you so much for your time.
Great to meet you, Alex.
Sincerely appreciate
Thank you very much.
I'm going to go behind camera. Any parting words for the audience before we go?
Live a dream. Listen, this isn't a dress rehearsal, so dream big, chase that dream every day, and magic will happen. Thank you, Alex.